Hey folks, how's it going? The Elite Guild War is approaching fast and I guess it's about time to take the proper precautions for it. Since last time we got a couple of fairly big updates and I think the biggest one was probably the awakening levels, so we should have a couple of possible upgrades here and there. As usual, let's start by checking out the characters and see which ones are better suited for an OTK setup. Starting from Lady Grey, she comes in with a double hit to defense, but that's 2 button presses. She's going to sit this one out. Bazuraga has got some extra skill damage, Bazuraga might not be too bad, as well as a 20% boost to the caster's charge bar. He needs to get another ring though. Number of buttons, 0 to 1 due to Great Sight Green Oath. Next up is going to be 6, which starts with 10% extra charge bar. They're going to be either a 1 or 0 button character, but he's going to need his 5-star in order to actually get the extra CA damage cap. And I don't think he needs another ring, 9% CA cap should be alright. Next up is going to be Vera, but I don't think she got anything decent for OTK. 1 CA, no CA damage cap, and kind of a bad ring. No, Vera is going to sit this one out as well. Vampy should be alright. Boost to CA specs against foes with Charmed. Let's list her as a 1 to 2 button character. Kind of bad EMPs though. Next up is going to be Narmea, who is finally getting a rebalance soon. It's really too bad that her rebalance is going to come after the Guild War. But again, she would be probably better suited for just Nightman 90 and Nightman 95's low turn setups, rather than EX plus OTK. Let's see Black Knight. Onyx Drain activates at the end of the turn when the HP is at 50% or lower. Problem is, unless you want to use Zoe, it's very unlikely that she's going to get 50% HP worth of damage in one turn. Onyx Drain should also hit fairly hard, like 800k to a million, probably even harder with the proper setup. It does have some CA cap in here, so I'm kind of curious. I'm going to list her and check her later. Probably just going to be 0 buttons. It definitely needs awakening levels, but the ring is fine. Moving on, Zoe. Conjunction is the only reason Zoe would ever make it into an OTK team. On Magna setups especially, this one skill can bring so much damage from those claws. 3 CA damage, no CA damage cap, and she could maybe use a better ring. Azazel should bring defense down, yeah, blind and defense down. Boost to CA damage and CA damage cap against foes that are both blind and poisoned. This might be a little bit hard to pull off in an OTK setup. CA damage, no CA cap, no ring. The conditions for its boost to CA damage and CA damage cap are a bit too steep. I don't think it's going to do well, not on a low button OTK setup. Now we come to the fun part, Nier. Just Nier is freaking broken. Massive dark damage to a foe, boost to CA specs based on how low Love Redemption is, but you don't really care about this. All her skills don't need to be pressed. What you really care about is this. It's 31% boost to CA damage cap. Doesn't need a ring, but she would very much enjoy a new pair of earrings. Yeah, that's nice. Joker should be alright if this works when he's in the 4th slot. I'm not really planning to use any skills on him, even though he could do a 0 to 1 setup with Comatose. Clarisse, she does have an extra 1 million damage on her CA, but this one only really take effect after the 10th turn. 2 CA damage, 1 CA damage cap. She's not going to deal the extra 1 million plain nuke on CA, but I might try it. Also, she does have a charge bar boost that should be usable on the first turn, 30% charge bar boost, and she needs a new ring and possibly an earring too. So let's move on to Lelouch. 10% boost to charge bars, not bad, and a big boost to otherwise attack based on how high Lelouch HP is. 10% CA cap in here too. It's just going to need awakening levels. Alulu. Extra nuke on CA, she specs against foes with blind, and she applies blind by herself. And she activates Taliho on CA. Going to need awakening levels. And probably both ring and earrings. no CA damage cap up, but she's going to cast the skill twice if you use her with Zoe. Next up is Cele, coming in with a boost to otherwise dark attack as well as a fairly hard bonus damage against foes with Darkski Verdict. She is going to need to cast one skill, but that one button is going to be followed by about a 2 million to 2.5 million extra nuke. Already got Awakenings, she's got CA damage cap, CA, and another 10% here for another 20% extra CA damage cap. Next up is Rat, and she comes with a boost to CA specs and dodge rate with one skill press, as well as 1 million plain damage to all foes plus Dispel, and another 20% CA damage cap. So Vikala 0 to 1 buttons. Okay, we're coming to a close. Predator. Dodge and counter on CA, which is honestly not that bad, and big boost to all allies attack based on how low Predator's HP is. While actually great for burst setups, I'm afraid she's going to have to sit this one out. And lastly, Samramira. This unworldly dark damage to a foe isn't exactly on a high damage cap though, or at least I've never really seen it hit for like 8 billion damage like Colossus does. She also needs 3 satiety levels, consume satiety levels to counter based on the number of times damage is taken. Problem is, she starts with 3, she's going to go down to 0 as she won't be able to do the counters if the boss survives. Touch bar gain, CA damage, no CA damage cap, so it looks like Samramira is going to sit this one out too. Doesn't need Awakenings, but she can probably use a better ring. Anthuria brings strength if Ardern Dance is active, so Dark Allies CA specs when Ardern Dance is in effect, so Anthuria would also be a 1 button character minimum. Ardern Dance already gives 30% CA damage and 5% CA damage cap. Black Knight and Orcus activates Drain for 100k nuke on CA. He specs when below 25% HP, so this might not be too bad. It's a 30% boost to CA damage cap up. So yeah, if your OTK comp is based around Zoe and Conjunction, you can slot in the DVD Dark Knight. Up next is Halloween Cagliostro, boost to CA specs based on the number of Oblivion crests. No CA, no CA cap, and you don't really use crests for OTK setups. At best you would get like 1 if you were to use the Dark Opus as a main hand. And this is only for Cagliostro as well, so Eustace, Back Down, Blind, which might synergize well with Colulu. When Oblate du Flamec is consumed, 300% bonus dark damage with a 630k cap. No, it's a 1 button thing. Gets 1 level of loaded with this skill, which is going to grant him 25% CA damage, 10% CA damage cap. No other CA damage cap in here, but 2 crits, skill cap, and CA damage. I guess he's alright for a 1 button character. Cool, 50% boost to CA damage, 20% boost to CA damage cap against foes with Fox Flame, but he's the only one who's going to be able to inflict this. So he's also going to need at least 1 button press, coming with Fox Flame and Dark Defense down. Activates 9th Dance, but that is his support skill. And hey, he comes with some CA damage cap in here as well. Again, another 1 button character. 20% boost to CA damage cap is not that bad, but again it's only for himself. Usable, but not really ideal. Wing Lady Grey gives strength to all allies, as well as a 20% charge bar gain with her 1 skill. 30% boost to CA damage, 5% boost to CA damage cap for all allies with drain, so yeah, if you only need 20% charge bar, she can be another 1 button character to use. No CA damage, no CA damage cap in her EMPs. Again, 1 button, not too bad, usable, not ideal. So it would seem like our best bets are going to be maybe Vazaraga, maybe Kalulu, Nier, Zoe, Black Knight, and Shalem, Vikala, and Clarisse. So we've got our characters, and now it's time to pick up weapons and grid. For swords we've got the Killing One and the Fediel Spine, but I want to wait on the Spine for a little bit before slotting it in. Sadly, there aren't that many decent guns, maybe outside of this one, but it's a small EX modifier, and if you're using mechanic, you're not really going to care about the 10% boost to charge bar. Luchador might actually be a thing with tag team, but despite Segame's own recommendations, I don't think we'll be touching bows anytime soon. For the harps, we've got the Killing One and the Zachariah, which might work on Rising Force, but we'll see later. For the katanas, there's the Xeno one coming in with the Slip-on CA, and of course the Dark Opus that comes with a couple of different effects based on the pendulum. So just for fun, I'm going to start with a kind of basic Magna 1 grid. Everything in here should be easily accessible, maybe outside of the skill level 20 for the Killing Sword and Bow. To offset this though, I'm leaving both that and Sariel at home. Just a little warning, if you're planning to use Vazuraga in your OTK setup, do not use the Xeno Katana as an offhand weapon. That is going to put the boss to sleep, and Vazuraga needs to be targeted in order to engage his skill damage. Five buttons might be a bit clicky, but it's still pretty good considering what we're going in with. Swapping out the Bahamut for a Huang cuts the need for Clarice, and I kind of wanted to test the damage from Black Knight and Kalulu. Also, we're down to 3 buttons plus a summon. And well, apparently it works. For this sort of setup, Vazuraga, Kalulu, Black Knight are pretty interchangeable as characters. One more try with Cele. Again, I've swapped out the Dark Opus and the Xeno Katana. And we're still down to a 3 buttons plus summon setup. With Vazuraga still down at 2%, I guess these are overshooting it by quite a margin too. And yeah, it's almost 23 millions. When you try to replace Zoe though, things don't really go as well. So I guess there can really be no half measures when it comes to this sort of setup. And this, my friends, is the difference enmity makes. So, time to get serious. I've slopped in the Fediel Spine, I put back in the Astral Fist, and I changed the Dark Opus Pendulum into the Chain Burst 1. I also went back and re-keyed my summons, so Full Limit Break Death, Full Limit Break Sariel, ULB Bahamut, all plus 99. And we're down to 2% before Basaraga's skill. Just one button and one summon. This, during strike time, is going to be really nice to run.
何者にも負けるものか。
23 millions too. A bit more of a free-to-play friendly setup with just Six, Lyria and Lelouch. Even though at this point I think you must have been playing for a while in order to actually be able to have Lelouch. This one also only on a 2-button setup, no summon required.
Checkmate だ。そこまで。
お客さん、喜んでくれてますか？よかったです。
The overall damage cuts in a little bit closer at only 21.3 millions, but 5-star 6 should be able to fix this. Without Lelouch, I've tried both Basaraga and Kolulu. Kolulu's damage is a little bit lower than Basaraga's, but the result doesn't really change.
Jump, jump です。 魔法のノート。ストーンブレイク。チェスター。
そこまで。たわいもない。
And that's going to be about it for the EX Plus OTKs. I can't really go below 1 button and 1 summon, or 1 button during strike time, and other possible comps all require longer animations such as Luchador's Tag Team or Death, some cases even both, so that's going to be it from me for the moment. Feel free to share your OTK setups down in the comments, and as always, thank you all for watching and see you guys soon. Ciao!